Brother, as Grand Master, how do you propose to help the lodges that are struggling to become viable again?
In my experience, lodges struggle for a couple of different reasons. They may have membership problems, which often cause them to make perhaps poor decisions when it comes to the men they admit into Masonry. I think we can solve that problem by encouraging them to again bring Masonic education into their lodges, to fulfill the promise that we make to our initiates so that they do remain active and viable members in our organization for decades to come. Another large problem I see, at least in the District 17 area, is buildings that we can no longer afford. And I think that a Grand Master can have honest, straightforward communications with the brothers who might be facing that situation. Why would we want a lodge to in essence collapse because it can't afford the building it's in if there's another building that they could meet in just a few miles down the road? And wouldn't they be better off selling that building and moving in with their neighboring lodge? And I think that if we do those two things, we can help struggling lodges survive into the future.
As Grand Master, how do you propose to help the lodges who are struggling to become viable again?
I think the important thing to do when you come across a lodge that's struggling to become viable is first to listen. Listen to where they're coming from. How did they get to the place where they were that's made life difficult for them, or their inability to grow, or perhaps even decline? And then once that step is taken, ask them to do some self-reflection. Who are they? What have they done? Let them do some self-assessment. Help them help themselves. Find out what they've done in the community. Ask them how their programs are. Ask them if they need help with those programs. How about their ritual? Is their ritual clean and crisp? Is it not just memorized, but actually understood? Those are the kinds of things that are going to make a healthy lodge something viable for its members, something important for them to want to come to each week or every other week, and have them take an interest in themselves to prepare themselves as a vessel to receive the public. And outside of that, there are practical things. Do they need help with their finance? Do they need help with their forms? Do they need help with their websites? All of those things Grand Lodge can help with in mentoring, in resources, and in many other ways to give them ideas. The other thing that we need to do between these lodges is look at the ones that work and help the ones that aren't by showing them what the ones that work are doing. Because as I go around the state, 171 lodges, there's 171 ways of running a lodge. And many of them are excellent, but they're isolated from each other many times. And what one person needs, another person is doing in a different lodge, but never the two speak. So as a Grand Lodge overseeing 171 lodges, I would suggest that we do much more interchanging of ideas between the lodges than we have in the past, helping one another perhaps using technology, using video, using the internet, using Skype and other devices to help struggling lodges to see what works in similar lodges that are succeeding.